So are you thinking about a new construction in coastal Delaware? Well, I've got a good one for you. I put together a video and handpicked my top 7 new build communities in coastal Delaware. And this is in no particular order. Of course, there's so many that it's hard to fit in one video here, but I'm pointing out the key points on these, what I like, and I go over all the details, everything that you would want to know, so you don't want to miss this one. So what's going on, everybody? This is Rich, your local coastal Maryland and Delaware realtor. I get people that reach out all the time and I love it. You know, whether you're starting to look right now or even if it's a year from now and you're just thinking about making a move, I'm gonna put my contact information down below in the description. Don't be shy, reach out anytime, love to talk with you, never too busy. But without further ado, let's hop into the video. All right, so number 1 is Cardinal Grove. We're starting up in Lewis, Delaware. And let me just show you here on the map, kind of zoomed in a little bit here, but this is the community here. It's a total of 98 homes. So it's a smaller community. And that's one thing that I've heard a lot about this one from clients that I've shown in the community and those that I've helped actually purchase in there is they like that it's a smaller community, a little bit more intimate, and not as big as some of your other communities that might be like 300 plus homes in there. But when looking at the map here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit just to kind of show you where that sits. You can see Cardinal Grove was right here. So a little bit west of Route 1 there, right below Route 9. But you can see here, it's about a little bit less than 5 miles to downtown Lewis, which is right up here and the beaches. And then it's less than 9 miles or so to get over to Rehoboth Beach and the boardwalk over in this area. So very convenient, a little bit outside of the action, especially in the maybe summertime if you want to stay out of the beach traffic, where Route 1 is and everything. But it's close enough where you can go in and enjoy yourself. And of course, a lot of your grocery stores, restaurants are right there towards Route 1. And of course, Lewis has some great ones in downtown Rehoboth as well. And if you ever have to, head west or north or south, it's easy to get kind of out of the area that way. They keep it going. But let's look at a rundown real quick. I mentioned 98 home sites. Shell Brothers has 10 models you can choose from, which is nice here, which I'm going to show you here. There's the actual outline of the community. You can see it's about 60% sold out, but a lot of great lots still available here, anything in the yellow. But let's take a look at their model homes while I have their website up here. You can kind of see some of the different ones here, anywhere from a lot of single floor to 2 floors. A lot of these floor plans offer a primary suite on the first floor, which a lot of people are looking for that, in the floor plans. So pricing, they start at $535,000, and amenities, there are particular amenities here, which I'll show you some footage while I'm talking about it on here, is the perch. It's more of an outdoors area surrounding the outdoor pool that they have, which is very nice. But they have a grilling area, outdoor fireplace out there, tot lot, some outdoor games too, which I believe they had cornhole set up out there. So they don't have a full enclosed clubhouse. I think if you're looking for something like that, but the perch is actually nice amenities out there. And kind of showed the distance to some of the attractions there. Of course, Cape Henlopen State Park isn't too far away too. It's right next to the Lewis Beaches, if you're familiar with it. So big question I get a lot too is basements available. Cardinal Grove, the clients that I previously helped, they did have a basement on that particular lot. That can change. I'm not sure. That's something we could check on with the community to see if any of the remainder lots offer basements, in there. The incentives, Shell Brothers are pretty consistent with those. They're offering 24/5. And some of that you can use for like a rate buy down or to take off the purchase price that you have, or if you do some different upgrades, with them. And you do cover half of the Delaware transfer taxes, which is good. Not all builders do that. So HOA fee estimated to be $274 per month, includes grass cutting, trash pickup, snow removal, and all your common area amenities there. And of course, they just give an estimate of taxes. Most of them are are on that lower end for these size type homes that you would see. So that is Cardinal Grove. All right, so let's check out number 2, which is the Cahovanian Four Seasons at Scenic Harbor. And this is in Lewis, moving a little southeast here. But you can kind of see this, the community here, which is a big one. It's 319 home sites that they're going to have here. And this one is, they have a few homes built already, but this is a fairly newer one. But they boast kind of like a resort style living and amenities. And it is a 55 plus community. So if that's down your alley, this is something that that you may consider as a community here. And we can see how it sits here in Lewis. And I'm just going to mark this up a little bit so we can see here, but you can see them here. Like I said, you're still west, southwest of Route 1. And you see Route 24 is right here, which is your main road that will take you onto Route 1, where a lot of your grocery stores, restaurants, and everything are. But you can see Marshtown's right over here. A lot of different new communities in these areas that you might be familiar with. But let's look at the breakdown on here. And I've walked a client through this community not long ago. Of course, I've been through it and talked to some of the sales reps, the builder reps over there. But they're in the process of building their 7,000 square feet clubhouse, which is going to be amazing. And that's part of their amenities. They've got an outdoor pool and spa, fitness center, aerobics room, lounge, billiards room, pickleball, bocce ball courts, fire pit, patio, tiki bar, walking trails. They're going to have a lot. And this is a good picture right on their website of the layout of the community. You can see how the lots are going to lay out here. And it butts right up here to the Arnell Creek, which goes out to the Rehoboth Bay. When I was talking with the rep, they didn't say that they're going to have any kind of water access with this community. So I would assume that that's probably not going to happen. But it looks like they could. But you could probably have some protected lands here that might not allow them to do that. But let's look at they have a good rendering on here of their clubhouse, which is right here. It looked like when I was through there, which I'm going to show you some footage on here too, it looked like it was, maybe on the exterior about maybe 85% complete. But this is a real good rendering kind of to show you some of the amenities that I just went over. So it's a good, beautiful community. I like these fire pits down here. Nice little chill area, outdoor kind of pavilion bar. I guess that's their tiki bar area over here. You see the pickleball, tennis courts up here. So it's going to be beautiful. And they offer quite a few different models. They got 7 model homes, with the builder. Cahove is a national builder. So they've been around a long time. And price points are going to start in the mid 600s. So 650, I think, is where you're going to start. With a lot of the single family homes that they offer. Let me go back to my map here, just kind of show you how close here. You can see right here, and so you can see where Rehoboth is. Cape Henlopen State Park is right up in here. Downtown Lewis is going up towards this way. You can see they're about 3 to 4 miles to Lewis Beach, downtown Lewis. And Rehoboth Beach is just about a little bit under 6 miles in Cape Henlopen State Park. So just kind of like Cardinal Grove a little bit, so just out of the action a little bit there, a little west, and but you can kind of still close to everything that you can go right into, some of that action if you want to. They didn't really have stated too much what their incentives are. On their website they state there's up to $80,000 in flex cash. And they also have notes on there that can already be reflected in the pricing that they advertise. So I know with Cahove, it changes. So sometimes you don't know until you actually get in there and maybe take a tour and run some numbers if you think Four Seasons community would work for you. But they are going to have some quick move-in options too, what they mentioned. And HOA fee, this shows stating right around $300 a month or less, and the estimated taxes, just like all of them do, they give you a range. A lot of these will fall on that lower end, probably that $2,800 give or take when the tax is there. So that is the Four Seasons at Scenic Harbor by Cahove. All right, so number 3, we're at Welches Pond, still in Lewis, Delaware. This is another community by Shellbrellers, and I'm going to show you on the map here. We were right down here in the Four Seasons, but right on the other side of 24 is Welches Pond. And I'm going to zoom into the community right here, and let's check it out. Let me highlight it here. So this is a larger community as well. They have 247 home sites in Welches Pond, and I believe they only have about maybe 60 left. There's some sites that they haven't released yet, I believe, but this is a very nice community, and reason why I picked Welches Pond, again, I've helped clients in this community before and been through it many, many times. And it's actually come a long way too, because it's pretty large. But they, the clubhouse is finished, and they have a couple different like pocket parks. Like there's a place called the Thicket in there, which is just a nice little outdoor lounge area that you can kind of stroll through, take a seat, read a book, just hang out there. But they're also going to have an outdoor pavilion that is down towards I call it the bottom of the neighborhood here, that they will have a kind of like a kayak launch, or you put a paddleboard in there. So it's nice that you have water access there in the Love Creek, and that eventually goes out to the Rehoboth Bay that you can kind of see. But yeah, very nice community. The other big thing that I like about this one too is they have large lots. So if you're looking for a large lot, these are like a quarter to a third of an acre size lot. So they have pretty good spacing between the homes. And again, depending on which one that you pick out. But if you're looking for like to have a little bit of a yard that you could probably fence in and have a little bit of privacy, Welches Pond is a good choice. And let me go through some of the stats here. I mentioned how many, the 247 homes. And one thing with that too is you'll notice when you go through Welches Pond, which I'm going to show you some footage on here, they have a lot of nice buffer zones of trees and private areas. So it makes it feel, I think, a little bit smaller than what it is for a 250 home community. So that's one thing I like. They kept a lot of green space in this community. So your homes, they're starting in about the 633,000. That's after like the incentives that they offer, which Shell Brothers, again, on this one is 24.5 that you can use towards price reduction or maybe a rate buy down portion of that. So the amenities, I mentioned about the clubhouse. It's got a fitness center in there, the outdoor indoor lounges, pool, tot lot, multi-use sport courts with the pickleball. It's labeled a dog park, but they might be talking about the Thicket Park that I already mentioned on there. I did mention the outdoor pavilion with the kayak launch, which is going to be really cool there. And just kind of show you on the map, where that sits. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Like I said, we're not too far from the Four Seasons community that we just went over. You can see this one's on the other side of 24 right here. There's Route 1, so you're like 3 to 6 miles, into, getting to downtown Lewis and to the Lewis beaches that are over there. And of course, you can kind of see Rehoboth over this way. So this one again is a little bit west, kind of in the middle there, but real close to all the action and the grocery stores and restaurants that you want to hit, in Lewis, Rehoboth, and all along this Route 1 section here that you have. So let's go back here, just finish up a little bit. I mentioned about the incentives. They pay half your transfer tax, which is always good. HOA fees are going to run you about $295 per month. And, that covers your trash removal, grass cutting, all the amenities like your clubhouse, the roads, the lighting, all your common areas, the pocket parks that I mentioned. Of course, estimated taxes, like we usually do there. Like I said, you're probably looking, in that around that $3,000 range per year for property taxes or less, which is pretty great when you look at that compared to other areas versus maybe Maryland or, I've had a lot of clients come from New York, New Jersey, in those areas, Pennsylvania. So taxes always look unbelievable, on these. But that is Welches Pond. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick break from the video. Just mention about a free quiz that I put together, which is going to be down below in the description and should be the first comment too. But you could take this. What I did was put together based on your answers when you take it. Just takes maybe less than a minute. I'm going to offer up maybe 3 or 4 different options based off your answers of communities that will be a good match for what you're looking for. So it's going to help you narrow things down, bring more clarity. And so make sure that you click that link, but let's hop back into the video. All right, so number 4, we're staying in Lewis, but this is Tower Hill, and we're back with Cahovanian Builders. This Tower Hill is a little bit closer, and you're going to see right here on the map that it's east of Route 1, which that's one reason why I picked this community, and I've had other clients that really like the setup of this community just because of the location. But you can kind of see here the proximity of where it is to like the downtown area here, and also the Lewis beaches, which I'm just going to draw a line here. You can kind of see there's downtown, there's all the beaches there, and of course you can scoot right over here to the Cape Henlopen State Park. And also, it's not that far to go if you want to go down towards Rehoboth Beach, down towards that way. So another thing I wanted to point out about this community and why I picked this one, and depending on what you're looking for, it's right here, just about a block away, right down this old Orchid Road here, to the trail, the Lewis-Georgetown Trail. So that's another thing that I have a lot of clients that they like to have their community close to the trail, that they could actually bike to it. Or possibly walk. You can see the trail here, how it runs, all the way here. It'll take you back into town, and you could go downtown Lewis, but eventually that goes all the way to the Cape Henlopen State Park. Of course, you can go the opposite way, and they are in the process of finishing the trail to make it actually go all the way towards Georgetown, which is a bit west. That's not 100% complete yet, but there's a lot of trail there that you could use, if you're looking for, something like that in your community. But let's look at some of the stats with Tower Hill. It's a good sized community. It's 292 home sites there, and they're going to have about 10 models / floor plans to choose from. They always have some good options there. So pricing, you're looking at the mid sixes, 650 on up. They get into the community, and the amenities. They have a beautiful clubhouse, again, which I'm going to show you some footage here while I'm talking about it a little bit. But it has like the fitness center in there, a whole nice, beautiful gathering area. There's pickleball courts out there, fire pit, walking trails. I see that they have a playground there too. But and there is a little garden spot, which I thought was pretty neat. And they have they plant these wildflowers in some of the buffer zones in between some of the houses that you'll see when you ride through, which I think really adds a nice little touch, to that. But you can see how close it is, which I already showed you, to downtown Lewis, a little less than 3 miles, to the downtown and the beaches. Rehoboth's not that far away as well. So, and basements here, there was some spots they had it, but I know no longer are basements available in the sections that that they're offering. Let's go to the map here. I'm just going to show you the layout of the community here, which is pretty much a rectangle of Tower Hill. And when you're coming into the community, you're usually coming in this way. So this whole section off to the left here is already built and established. And you can see the clubhouse is kind of right here. But this whole section over here, they've been building. It looks a lot more developed than it does here on the Google Maps. But these are the areas that are available now, the lots. And they have some nice setup here. There are some that have some nice private wooded areas that the house would back up to if you wanted that. Of course, there's some pond view selections over there too. But the only thing too is on this side that they're not offering basements. So you want to keep that in mind if that's something that you were looking for. But this community is really all about the location and the proximity to being east of Route 1, close to the downtown area and the beaches there, and of course close to the trail too. So their incentives with Cahovanian is something that changes a lot. Like on their website, it says they have up to like $95,000 in the cash that they offer. Sometimes it's reflected in their pricing. Like I said, sometimes you don't know until you actually go in there, and we can talk and see exactly what they're offering and what they can do for you there. And the initial quote that I had for the HOA seemed a little bit low. This one's saying $185 per month, but I believe that's incorrect. You want to probably base your HOA is going to be more like some of the other communities in your mid to high twos per month, which is still reasonable because they take care of a lot of things in the community for you. And but that is Tower Hill in Lewis. All right, so we're moving along. Number 5, we moved down south. We are just west of Bethany Beach in Ocean View, Delaware for Silver Woods Villas. So this is Beazer and DRB builders, both still big name builders. And I've seen these two particular builders split communities a lot. I think they're kind of on par with each other price point wise and everything like that. But you can see here on the map where we are, just a little west of Bethany Beach. This is about maybe 4 miles west of Bethany Beach in Ocean View, which is a popular community. This is one reason why I picked this one here. And these are, they're calling them villas. So they're townhome style builds that you're going to have here. So I'm looking at the bird's eye view map of the community, which kind of looks a little different when you're driving through here, but they've got quite a few of the townhomes built, I think, on the Beazer side, not so many on the DRB side here, which I'm going to just kind of outline it here because you're coming off of Beaver Dam Road. And when you come into the community, so over here in this section, you're going to have Beazer. Then off to the left here, a lot of this space is still all wide open, but this is going to be a lot of your DRB homes, with the townhome styles. So a lot of good restaurants. Like I said, easy to get to Bethany Beach. Of course, you could head south, go towards Fenwick Island, Ocean City, Maryland on the Maryland side, of course, or you could head north and go back up towards, Rehoboth and Lewis area on there. But let me go over to some of the quick specs on here. They say there's a total of 141 home sites. Of course, a lot that's split between both builders. So Beazer, I'm going to look on their website real quick here. They're offering 2 models, and they're starting in the $390,000 price points, which DRB is similar price points. 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. You see square footage goes anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 square feet. And this actually mentioned some of the amenities. They have a nice clubhouse, which I'll show you some footage of that on here, and some community trails. Of course, stellar restaurants in the area there. The other thing I like about Ocean View, they have a lot of, just like Lewis area, but they have a lot of dedicated park and green space in the area. Like the James Farm Eco Park is one of them. They have like a little bay beach that you can walk over to, but they got little trails there, which is a very nice spot. But yeah, it looks like Beazer has 2 models you can choose from, Sandpiper and a Heron. Looks like the Heron is a little larger, goes up to, well, it looks like it max at 2,500 square feet. But they do come with the garages, and DRB is similar too. This kind of shows you a view of their section over there. It's just to the left of, there's a large pond here. Then the clubhouse is over to the right here, not too far away. I believe they're only offering kind of like one model, probably some different elevation styles on the exterior part of it. But yeah, they're up. It's 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2-car garage. Very similar one home plan. You can see that here, which I'm going to show you on the footage of some of the things that I caught while driving through there. So there's a little mix. There's a lot of different single family homes like in the community that are already built. I think we're there, and the villa / townhome styles here are the new things that they're building. But very convenient. Like I said, just if you like the Bethany Beach area and you want something, I think like here would be low maintenance. Obviously, it's a townhome, so HOA, a lot of that stuff is going to cover the exterior of the home. It's all about convenience and everything on there. We had one here estimated. They didn't really state on the website, on the community website, exactly what the HOA fee is going to be for the townhome styles, but they're estimated about $190 per month. Of course, your taxes would be a lot lower too compared to some of the single family homes that we were looking at. But that is the Silverwoods Villas there in Ocean View, Delaware. All right, so number 6, we moved down south a little bit further. We're a little bit west of Fenwick Island, Delaware. We're in Frankfort, Delaware, which is right next to Selbyville, if you're familiar with the area. And I'm going to zoom in here. You can see on the map. This is the estates at Bridgewater. This is a Shell Brothers community. And the reason why I picked this one here is, number one, the location. And it's, again, not too far away from Fenwick Island. Of course, Ocean City, the Maryland line is right there too. But this community is on the water, which I like, right there, Derrickson Creek. And they will have water access. They're going to have a proposed marina with, kayak launch and everything there. But of course, they have to get it approved. But you can kind of see on this map there's already an existing kind of dock area in here that you pass when you're getting to the neighborhood. But this has a little dock area that you'll see in some of the footage here. But Google Maps, the community looks a little raw on here. But let me show you on their website here, the layout of it. So there's going to be a little bit over 200 plus lots or home sites. Let me make sure I'm telling you right. So yeah, so there's going to be a total of 227 home sites, with 156 of them are going to be of Shell Brothers. So when I came in toward the community, you can see on the side up here on the north side of the community, on the other side of the road, there's a Lennar sign. So Lennar is going to have this section of the community. And you can see the bottom half here is all going to be the Shell Brothers portion of it. And you can see what's available in the yellow, and all the green is going to be future sites. But this is a brand new community. They've got a few homes up already, and it looked like they almost had the model home ready. If not, it might be ready soon. The amenities look amazing on here, and I know a lot of these sites here, you're going to have just beautiful views, water views, and I'm sure you're going to get some great sunsets and everything else, with this. But you can see in this area, this is where they're going to build their clubhouse, which is a 2-story clubhouse. And I'm just going to show you some of the renderings that they have on the website, which it looks amazing. So this is what it's going to look like here. And you can see some of the renderings from the inside gathering area there. I'm sure looks like they'll have a billiards room, some different activities, nice little deck area with some fire pits overlooking the water. And you can see a little harder to see in this picture. You can see it over here. You'll have the outdoor pool, which is kind of going to look over the water as well. A little bar area there. There's some of the computer renderings that they're proposing, with everything in there. So yeah, and they're offering 18 different models in this community, which I think that's the most that I've seen Shell offer in a lot of their communities. And you can see real quick all the model homes here. And looks like the starting price to get in is going to be right around that $615,000 mark. Then it goes up from there. And I know with Shell Brothers, a lot of times I have to talk to with clients, Shell is kind of like a semi-custom type builder, so they have a lot of options when you go to build, just on the elevation, on the exterior of the house, and plus on the inside of it. So you can kind of probably plan and upgrades with what most people want. You can easily add about $150,000 on a lot of the Shell builds. You could do a lot more. Of course, you could do less too, but just to kind of give you a heads up going in. But it's a lot of quality stuff, and I like a lot of the options that Shell Brothers offers. And they're just offering a lot of different models in this one. And of course, some of them probably limited to certain lots because some of the models are a little bit wider than others, so they can only fit on certain lots. But that's something that you kind of bear down if you think that's the location for you and where you would want to be, community wise and location wise. Because another reason why I picked the location here, you're just about like a mile and a half to the Freeman Stage and Bayside, which is a huge community, and that is when we're looking at the map here too. This is the community here in this area. Like I say, you can see the openness of all this, but you're coming down here. You're driving down to Route 54 here. You're going to have Bayside and the Freeman Stage, which they have a lot of big acts that come in, musical acts, a lot of different things going on there. Of course, there's a golf course in Bayside community that you could go use, and they do have like a whole club, bar area that the public can visit. But coming into here, you can kind of see this will lead you over towards Fenwick Island, and you can go down south into Ocean City, Maryland. But great location, you're pretty much a brand new community from Shell Brothers. And if you're looking at this location here, and that might be a right spot for you, and they offer a lot of different options on this one. So that is the estates at Bridgewater. All right, so the final number 7, of course, these are in no particular order, but I saved a good one here because this is a brand new one, just a little west of Fenwick. It has a Selbyville address, but it's really West Fenwick is what we'll call it. So not too far away from the estates of Bridgewater here, but we're coming over here, and this is a smaller 70 home site. Community bayfront, so you're going to have a lot of you're going to have bay view options on here, and they're going to have a beautiful clubhouse amenity that's kind of right on the water too, so you're going to get some immaculate bay views, sunsets in this community here. So but you can see where Fenwick Island is right here, Coastal Highway, coming right off of Route 54, which is right where Catch 54 is, which is a great restaurant if you're familiar with it. Papa Grande's is right in there too. And kind of right across from Channel Pointe is a popular community called Cape Windsor, which has a lot of canal front homes. And if you ever rolling through Route 54, you saw a lot of the different color, huge houses right there, right off of the Route 54. You kind of pass those, but on Google Maps, it still looks a lot very raw on here because it is. They don't have much done. They're still pushing dirt out here and getting everything ready. But take a look at this layout here. This is on the Shell Brothers website. It is Shell Brothers is the builder here. They have a lot of great communities coming up in locations. And there's a lot more that's out there too that's kind of hard to all cover under one video. But look at this one here, only 70 homes. And you can kind of see this is all kind of Bay Area, marsh area here. but looking towards Fenwick and this way is where you're going to get a lot of the sun here. But if we're looking at this, moving through, you can kind of see how the lots are going to be set up here. Like I said, only 70 lots. And when you keep on going, look at this clubhouse where they're going to have this situated. It looks like they're going to have a little like beach area, and they're working on getting permitted like a marina, like boat slips, and probably a little spot where you could probably throw in a kayak or paddleboard here too. But they're going to have a clubhouse with a pool, some sports courts, and this is going to be unique. And they're all single-family homes, and they're permitting as a luxury style, because of the views. But Shell Brothers, they are offering some models that I haven't seen before, in here, and they're calling them the Shell Signature series. So it sounds like their descriptions from it, it's going to be kind of like almost a custom home that they're going to be building with you, and they kind of give you the options of the models here, because they did team up with Carl Freeman with the community, which I guess they'll have like an activities director and some other things with the community, which Tower Hill up in Lewis, that's a Carl Freeman design community as well, and they offer something similar to that. But you can really get customized on a lot of these models here. And there's some big ones here. They're offering their Echelon series, which a lot of these pretty big homes, you're looking up to, almost like 6,000 square feet on these. And a lot of these can accommodate like an elevator if you wanted to put an elevator in those, which I've seen those in their communities in the peninsula over towards like Long Neck, Millsboro area. Beautiful looking models. And they're starting at, looking at the $1 million price point, 1.25 is what you're looking at. And, I'm sure there's going to be thousands of options of customization that you can do with a lot of these homes and make them really beautiful, because you're going to have views. I'm sure you want to take advantage of those views, in this community. Let's look at some of the key points that you probably want to know. 9 models offer, like I said, those signature models there. We went over only 70 home sites. I've talked about the price point in there. And it's kind of going to be like a private community because it's going to be on the smaller end, and it's so close to Fenwick right there. Less than a mile really going in there. Of course, you go towards Ocean City if you'd like to too. But coming on down here, incentives, $24,500, their usual incentive that they're offering on there. They did mention that they have some loyalty and military discounts. Of course, they'll cover half of the Delaware transfer tax at 2%, which is always good. Their HOA fee on this one's going to be $520 per month, and that's going to cover like your lawn care and all the maintenance of the common areas, clubhouse, and everything in the community, irrigation that you'll have, throughout. Taxes, they were estimating anywhere from $4,500 to $6,000, which let's double check that just to see if they were estimating that. Well, they said $2,000 to $4,500, like on most of them, but usually it's on the lower end again because it's Delaware. That's one perk that you have, one of many perks that you have right there on the Delaware side there. So that's Channel Pointe. It looks like a great exclusive kind of luxury style single home community that you're going to have right there. That's convenient with all the great restaurants, that you have right there. Catch 54, Papa Grande's, going into Fenwick. You have like Matt's Fish Camp. One of my favorites is Our Harvest, right there off of Coastal Highway. Then you can go into Ocean City, which is just a ton of things over that way. Or you can go back the other way towards, the Harris Teeter's not too far away from there, near the Bayside community. There's a food line there, but you got the Freeman stage, events. So just a ton of things there. And I did see on this particular community, because they had a pre-wait list, and they sold, I believe, 9 lots, home sites right off the bat there. You can see the reds, and all the yellow ones are available right now. So if you're looking for something like this in this location, this might be a good fit for you in this community. Again, so that's Channel Pointe right there, just a little west of Fenwick Island, Delaware. So that was our top 7 new construction communities in coastal Delaware. Hopefully that's helped you out, maybe narrow down some things for you too. I know there's a lot of different options, but love to talk with you. If you need help, reach out. Contact information is going to be down below. And if the video has helped you out, then, if you click that like button, share the love a little bit. And of course, make sure that you subscribe and don't miss any of the content that I come out with every week. And until next time, I'll see you soon.